The Duchess of Kent has passed away, leaving the royal family and the nation in mourning. Her death has shaken the country and brought an overwhelming wave of tributes from around the world. Known for her grace, kindness, and unwavering devotion to duty, the Duchess lived a life of dignity that inspired admiration far beyond the walls of the palace. While the nation grieves the loss of a royal figure, the deepest heartbreak rests with her son, who now faces life without the woman who was not only a duchess to the world, but a mother to him. Her funeral has been scheduled for the 16th of September, and preparations are underway for what will be a historic yet deeply personal farewell. In the days leading to that moment, tributes continue to highlight her legacy of service. But amid the grandeur of tradition, it is the voice of her son, trembling and raw, that cuts through with the greatest impact. His grief has revealed the private side of the Duchess, a side marked by unconditional love, quiet guidance, and the everyday strength of motherhood. From the very beginning of his life, the Duchess was his constant protector. In a world where royal children often grow up under scrutiny and public expectation, she fought to shield him from unnecessary pressure. She wanted him to have a childhood where he could laugh, learn, and grow without feeling the weight of a crown on his shoulders. Friends close to the family recall how she encouraged his curiosity, celebrated his small victories, and comforted him when challenges seemed overwhelming. She was never distant or untouchable. She was present in the most ordinary ways, a mother who valued bedtime stories and shared meals as much as official duties. As he grew older, that bond only deepened. He turned to her in moments of uncertainty, knowing her advice would always come from love rather than judgment. She was his confidant, his sounding board, and his source of reassurance when the responsibilities of royal life felt heavy. For him, she was not just a guiding figure, but his anchor, the one person he could rely on, no matter what storm surrounded him. Her death has left him devastated. In his words since her passing, he has not spoken like a prince, but like a grieving son stripped of his foundation. "She was my anchor," he said, his voice breaking under the weight of sorrow. To the world, she was a duchess. To me, she was home. Those words, simple yet profound, captured the essence of his loss. For the public, it was a glimpse into the bond that defined their lives. For him, it was the attempt to put into words a grief too deep to measure. The nation has seen princes and leaders mourn before, but his heartbreak has struck a particular chord. It is not polished or distant. It is raw, immediate, and painfully human. When he speaks of her, there is no reference to grandeur, no emphasis on her status. He speaks of her laughter, her compassion, her sacrifices, and her love. It is the love of a son for his mother, unshaken by titles, and it is this love that now defines the story of her passing. Preparations for her funeral on the 16th of September are filled with the rituals of tradition. Her coffin will be carried in procession, and the chapel will be filled with hymns and prayers. The nation will pause in silence, and the world will watch. But the most powerful moment will belong to her son. He is expected to deliver a tribute that will not only reflect her public legacy, but also reveal the private life that only he and his family truly knew. Those closest to him say he has struggled to find words, because how can one speech capture a lifetime of love? Yet even in his pain, he is determined to honor her memory in a way that carries her forward. The Duchess's role in shaping him is already evident. Observers note that the compassion, humility, and resilience she displayed throughout her life are qualities he has begun to embody. Even as he mourns, he speaks not only of his loss, but of her example, a sign that her lessons have taken root. He has promised, quietly but firmly, to continue her work, to lead with the same compassion she showed, and to uphold the values she instilled in him. Her passing is not just a family tragedy, but a national one. Flags have been lowered, and vigils are being held in towns and cities across the country. Citizens gather to light candles, many speaking not of a distant duchess, but of a woman who made them feel seen and valued during her visits. Charities she supported have shared stories of her dedication, with staff remembering how she always listened, always asked questions, and always offered comfort. These tributes reflect her far-reaching impact, but it is her son's grief that has given her death its most powerful meaning. For him, memory will now serve as both a comfort and a wound. Every tradition, every anniversary, and every family gathering will remind him of her presence and her absence. He will carry her voice within him, guiding him in moments of doubt. He will remember her laughter in moments of joy, and he will feel her absence most keenly in the quiet moments when the public world fades and he is left alone with his grief. The days until her funeral are filled with silence and anticipation. The 16th of September will mark a farewell steeped in tradition, but it will also mark a turning point for her son. He will walk into that chapel as a grieving child, and he will walk out carrying the responsibility of her legacy. His heartbreak is immense, but within it lies the strength she gave him, a strength that will allow him to endure. The Duchess of Kent will be remembered by history as a royal figure, but she will be remembered by her son as the woman who shaped his life in every way. His grief has made her story more human, reminding the world that behind crowns and ceremonies are bonds of love that are universal. Her final journey has not yet been completed, but already her legacy shines through the tears of her son. On the 16th, when the nation gathers to honor her, the eyes of the world will be on the royal family. Yet the moment that will be remembered most is the sight of a son mourning his mother. His voice, his tears, and his promises will carry the weight of her memory into the future. And though her life has ended, her influence continues through him, through the values she instilled, and through the love that will never fade. The Duchess of Kent's passing is a national sorrow, but it is also the most personal of heartbreaks for her son. His grief is a reminder that titles fade, ceremonies end, and history moves on, but the love between a mother and a child is eternal. That is how the Duchess of Kent will be remembered, not just as a figure of history, but as the mother whose son now carries her legacy forward with a broken heart and an unshakable love.